Get lost. Meg trembles as King resigns royal duties to fight back Harry's ongoing threat to royals. Can't harm royals anymore. King resigns royal duties due to Sussex's ongoing threats. King Charles has completed his first year as monarch, with all eyes on him and the world wondering what will happen next. His old butler, Grant Harold, had an idea. Harold noticed similarities and differences between Charles and his mother, the late Elizabeth. The second Harold worked for King Charles for 7 years before becoming monarch of England. Harold had an idea of what would happen in the near future based on conversations with his former master. He said it's funny that he's following in the Queen's footsteps and doing the same things she does at all the official events. She stopped traveling abroad a few years ago. So Charles did it the easy way, but he added his own twist. The word distortion is an interesting word and can have many meanings. Harold was not shy at all. He shares his thoughts on the issue. I think change is coming. A typical example is the balcony at the military parade earlier in the year. If you look at it from the Queen's time, it looks like Piccadilly Circus. If you look at it now, it looks like a post-apocalyptic and completely different soundscape. Charles also plans to manage roles internally. Harold explains that he's very careful and dignified, having reduced the royal family to what he defines as a nuclear family, which only becomes smaller as the royal cousins have passed away. Harold is Charles, who has been a butler for 7 years. He seemed to think for a moment that they wouldn't choose someone to interfere, and I think it would be a streamlined monarchy. He always wanted high value, but according to Harold, it was more like a business that made things sense rather than a personal revenge on May. Prince Charles' younger sister has spoken out to share her thoughts on what losing weight means to her. Quote, I think weight loss is being talked about at a time when more people are paying attention to it. It seems like a legitimate concern, she said on May. That doesn't sound like a good idea from where I'm standing. I'm not really sure where else we can do. Charles has just returned from a 3-day visit to France, where he traveled from Paris to Bordeaux. Now that he's back in Britain, he and his wife Queen Camilla plan to host a state dinner for South Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol in November.